ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you for the fourth session of Gita in 4 sutras. So I'm going to show you all the 4 now, 4 sutras, and then we proceed with the last one today. Okay? So Gita, that's an acronym that I'm going to give you. Gita. G for God, I for identity, and T for transmigration, and A for aim of life. So here you are seeing the first one, G, God. We are not all in all. There is a God in control. Regarding this, we will have more discussion today. Then I for identity. This body is not all in all. Soul exists. You all understood that very well. And in the first session itself, I covered that. And T is transmigration. This one lifetime is not all in all. Many more lifetimes exist. That also you all understood. How the soul moves from one body to another. Second body, third body, fourth body. Just like a small boy leaves his tricycle and takes a bicycle or a bike or a car or a chartered plane. As he moves from one vehicle to another, like that the soul also moves from one body to another, carrying his mind with his unfulfilled desires, trying to give shape to those desires. And one may ask, then what is the meaning and purpose of all this? Why should we keep on hopping and jumping from one body to another? It's like a bird in a cage, who is released from one cage and put in a second cage. Again is released and put in a third cage. How long the cycle of birth and death go? What is the meaning? Therefore, we earlier told you that actually we all are pure originally. But we have come to this world turning away from God with a desire to enjoy separately. So you may wonder, how did that, why does that happen? Think for a moment when you had a little argument with your father or mother sometimes. That is a sample of the original rebellion. When there is love, then there can also be opposition also. Because love implies freedom. Without free will, love cannot exist, because otherwise we will be robots. A robot does not have any free will. But living beings have free will. God has infinite free will, he has. And we have minute free will. With our minute free will, we can cooperate with him by being with him in the spiritual world, aligning with his plans, and celebrating life very happily with all the other living beings. Or we can turn away from him, come to this material world. And why does it happen? Like, for example, imagine you have a father working in an army, he's an army officer. He boarded a horse and then he went around a big ground, galloping on the horse. Tuck, 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 tuck. And the young boy, his son, was watching. He said, "Wow, Papa, that looks great. So now you get down. I would like to ride the horse myself," he said. They said, my son, you are too small boy. You are just a 6-year-old boy. If you sit on the back of the horse, it will throw you away. Imagine if you fall upside down with your head touching the ground, you will crack your head. Dangerous. But the boy wasn't ready to listen. Father said, "Would you like to sit with me? We both can ride together." Son didn't agree for that either. He said, "Why should you be with me? You let me ride alone." Father was worried. If I allow the boy to ride, he will break his head or legs, and it's not good for him, nor will we be happy. And if I don't allow him, he's crying. If I give him a tight slap and tell him, "No, you can't do that," Then the love is spoiled. Relationship with my son, sweet relation is spoiled. What should I do? Father thought. Then he came up with an idea. He said, okay, take this wooden horse, my son. It's only exclusively for you, and I will not use it. You can use it. Colorful horse. When I never used a tricycle. In my days, we had only wooden horse. Now also still people use wooden horses. So, we used to get up in the morning and sit in the wooden horse, and it'll have two handles like this. And go like this. Only thing is the horse never gets ahead. It's in the same place only. It'll be doing like this. Yeah. Sometimes I used to call my friend, you also sit behind. We both will go in a horse. But then the horse will not go at all. But we'll be doing like a seesaw kind of thing. So the boy thought, oh, that's great. You have your horse, I have my horse. You enjoy your horse, I'll enjoy my horse. Similarly, God has given us our own horse to enjoy. What is that horse? This is the body, this material body which we have. This is the precipitate of our desires. We wanted to have some fun separately. That desire has precipitated us this body which we have now. And we try to enjoy with this body, and then some food desires are fulfilled, some are not fulfilled. Then we get one more body to fulfill those desires. Sometimes we come with 5 desires, and then it multiplies into 20 desires or 30 desires. Then we get more and more bodies. There are 8.4 million species of life. We try to enjoy like that. And then after some lifetimes, we understand that, oh, it's not very advantageous to be away from our all-loving friend and father, Supreme Lord. And God is boss, I am das. And we are plural subordinates, and he is singular supreme. Just like, for example, in a company, there is one CEO and many, many others working in the company. CEO makes a plan and then hands over the plan, and everybody cooperates, and then the profits of the company are increased. Then the profit is shared by the company with all the employees. Employees are happy. For Diwali, we got a bonus of 1 or 2 lakh rupees extra. And the company could give because they are aligned with the company's plans, and then the company in turn nourished them. Similarly, you give water to the sun from the ocean, and the sun gives back as rains for you. Similarly, citizens of a country pay to the prime minister, the tax to the government. Then the government may spend the tax money in creating welfare activities for the citizens. Similarly, in a school, all the children are obedient to the principal and the teachers. Then the children can earn a degree or whatever, like that. So in this way, the plural subordinate serving supreme is a very observable phenomenon in this world. All parts of the body are feeding the belly, and the belly in turn is nourishing all the parts of the body by preparing the blood and circulating through the heart to all parts of the body. You can see that. In this way, when one understands that there are millions of living beings in this world, all are subordinate to one supreme, God. And by aligning with his will, which is ultimately for our good, then one can one can become truly happy like that. Haribol? So, in this way, the topic of God, we are not all in all, there is a God in control. Today it will become even more clear. So, we talked about transmigration, and then the another one is aim of life. The material world is not all in all. There is also a spiritual world. Spiritual world exists. This we discussed in the previous class. How the material world is not everything. There is a spiritual world beyond this material world, which is actually the home, our eternal home. All of you think for a moment, when you have summer vacation, you may leave the college hostel and go to home for a couple of months or something. And many of the students I know, they book their tickets on the same day of the last exam because they are in a very jolly mood. Now we are going home now. Go home. Why? Because when you reach home, you know that you can throw your clothes to your mom to wash your clothes. And there is nothing serious to study at home. Just merrymaking. Play with your friends, eat nice food cooked by your mother, and meet all your loving relatives like mother, father, brother, sister, and just chill out, be cool. So everybody likes to go home after the examination. They don't even wait for one extra day. They rush back home like that. Imagine this home where we live 70, 80, 100 years max. This is such an enjoyable place for us. Think about the spiritual world, which is the eternal home of all the living beings. How happy that world must be. So That is explained in the 15th chapter of the Gita. If you read, you will understand that. Naradbhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yadgatpana nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Krishna is telling that a word of mine is beyond this material world, beyond the darkness. And that world, there is no need of sun or moon. All living beings are effulgent and self-effulgent. And they all are pure and loving and free from malice, free from envy. They all are always absorbed in loving service to Lord. So Lord is pure, Jivas are pure, everybody, that world, the formula is live and let live. Yeah. In this world, the law is, I want to eat you, you want to eat me. Jivo jivasya jivanam. So, in this world, people only think of Geo. They don't think of Jenedo. That's why everybody has a Geo SIM. They don't have Jenedo SIM. Just see, that's material world. Whether that, Geo, Jenedo. Live and let live. So, that's the home of all the living entities. Therefore, the aim of life is what? The aim of life is to liberate the soul from matter and awaken love for God and return back home, back to Godhead. These are the two goals. Like liberate the bird from the cage and let the bird fly happily in the sky and go to the nest where the bird can happily meet all his relatives and lead a very happy life there, not be put in a cage like this. Similarly, all of us, our real family is in the spiritual world. Eternal family, everlasting family, happy family. But in this world, we are here for some period of time and we try to independently enjoy. So, there is a story of one prodigal son, which says about how a father had two sons, elder son, younger son. I can check whether I can get that short video for you. It will convey, yeah, it's here. I can just show it for you. You can see it.
A man had two sons.
Sound is not coming, just to see.
A man had two sons. A man had two sons. The younger son told his father,
"Father, I want my share of your estate now, before you die."
So his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. A few days later, his younger son packed all his belongings and moved to a distant land. And there he wasted all his money in wild living.
Throw them again!
About the time his money ran out, a great famine swept over the land, and he began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him, and the man sent him into his fields to feed the pigs. The young man became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the pigs looked good to him. no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, "At home, even the hired servants have food enough to spare, and here I am dying of hunger." He wasted everything his father gave him. While he had the job of feeding the pigs, the young man became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the pigs.
My father's workers have fled. I am no longer starving to death. I will go to my father and say to him, "Father, I have sinned against God in heaven and against you. I am no longer good enough to be called your son. Treat me like one of your workers."
But when he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt sorry for him. He ran to his son. And he hugged and kissed him.
Hurry and bring the best clothes and put them on him. Give him a ring.
So, like you saw, so this is a story of the father with two sons. One was an obedient son and the elder son, and one was a disobedient son who went to faraway place with his friends, who emptied his pocket. He squandered all the wealth in wine and women and everything. Then he realized in this world there are no true friends, they are all cheaters. And this is my situation. My father was so good. And then he decided to return not as a son, but as a servant. But then his father gracefully accepted him as a son again. And then kept him at home, giving him the same warm treatment what he was giving before. Similarly, Lord Krishna says, Tadbhama paramam mama, he says. There is an abode, spiritual abode, which is mine, he says, which we call as Vrindavan, the eternal abode. All the different religions talk about it. You will see they may, just like every religion talks about a spiritual plane and a material plane. Right now we are in material plane. We have fallen from the spiritual plane to go back to that home. But many of the religions do not know much information about this abode. Some of them, like Buddhists, for example, want to go to Nirvana. They say that, get rid of all the suffering and then Nirvana, Shanti, Shanti, you attain peace, that's all. And Jains, they will tell you that you should go beyond the wheel of samsara. Because the samsara wheel, again and again, birth and death happens. You go beyond the wheel of samsara where Tirthankars have attained that platform, great souls. You can go there also. Impersonalists will tell you that if you go beyond this world, there's a bright light of Omkar. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You can attain peace if you go there. And there it's a state of freedom from pangs of the birth and death and old age and disease and hunger and thirst and sorrow. You can go there. They say like that. But many of the students, like all of you intelligent students, when you hear these things, it is not very appealing to you many times because you wonder, oh, this world is a much better place because here at least there is some activity, there are some projects to do, there is some company to go, there are some relatives and friends here. Life, there is also fun, there is some playing, there is some, now especially with the AI tools and with robotics and with the video games and everything, this world appears to be greater fun than going to a bright light and relaxing there or going to Nirvana and remaining activity-less. And that's the reason why many of the intelligent students, they dig the religion a little bit. And then when they find this is the end goal these guys are trying for, they just reject it and continue with their material life in this world there. Because they do not know the ultimate goal of life clearly mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. I'm going to tell you a story now. In that connection, let me see who amongst you can answer the question. Once upon a time, a queen was taking a bath in the point, and then she left behind her necklace and other ornaments, and she was playing in the waters. Later on, when she came, the ornament were all there, but the necklace was missing. So she cried and told the king, and then the king arranged for announcements to be made. Anybody who brings the necklace will be given 10 lakh rupees, he said. And necklace itself was 10 lakhs. He was ready to give 10 lakhs because it was a very important necklace for his wife. And everybody was searching around, and at last, one gentleman found it in a lake. But the problem was, he was trying to take it out of the water. The hands were almost reaching it, but he only got stones in his hand. So I think I told you the story. In case I didn't tell you, I will ask you a question. A sage who was passing by, he stopped and asked the man, "Since morning to evening, I'm seeing you here. My man, tell me, what keeps you here?" Man said, "Sir, I have found the necklace of the queen, but I'm going to get 10 lakh rupees, but you should not ask me for a share. Then I'll show you where it is." The sage said, "I don't need anything. Tell me how I can help you," the sage said. The man showed it in the water. As soon as sage saw that, he laughed and said, "Oh, this is all you want? I'll give you in a minute." The next minute, the sage handed over the necklace to the man, and the man became delighted. Can any of you say, how could the sage give the necklace to the man? Any of you? This question. Oh, no, it's a reflection. Vivek, were you the one who answered this question before? Okay, good. Your answer is perfect. So, our PKD Vivek answered the question. Very good. So, it was actually, the necklace was in the tree put by the crow. Some crow had put it there, and it was hanging in the branch of the tree. And the same necklace was seen in the water. And this poor fellow was trying to get it, put his hand in the water and get. How can he get it? You see, if there is a mango in the tree, and you are looking for the mango in the water, you will see the mango in the water, but you cannot grasp it in your hand. It won't come because the real mango is not here. The real mango is there. Similarly, in the Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter, Lord Krishna says, there is an original tree which has its fruits. But in the water, you see the reflection tree. Material world is a reflection. Spiritual world is the original, he says. For example, imagine you are inside a jail and there are bars. Outside, people are walking on the road, and the reflection of the people is coming in as shadows on the walls. The wall, you see the shadow here. So you are looking at the shadow of the people, but you are not looking at the real people. Similarly, in this world, all the material bodies made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether, these bodies are simply shadowy bodies. The real substance is the spiritual world, people with spiritual bodies. And the spiritual world is not a dull place or a dry place. It is filled with people who are... I will show you one small video of what Lord Brahma says about the spiritual world. Coming? Here is mentioned. Yeah.
Kantah Paramapurushaha Kalpatarodhuma Bhumishchintani Ganamayi Toyamamrutam Tatagalam Natyam Gamanamapi Kamshi Priyasaki Padamapi Tada Swadyamapi Cha Sayatra Kshiragnihi Samati Surabhidyasya Sumaha Nimeshartakyo Vavyajati Nahi Yatrapi Samayaha Vade Shvetadvipam Tamahamiha Vidantaste Santah Shikiracharaha Garvaye
by Lord Brahma in Brahma Samhita describing the supreme planet Goloka.
Yeah. So, just as you saw the description now, in the spiritual world, you will see that there are kalpavriksha trees. The trees can give any fruit you want in all seasons. And it can give any flowers you want in all the seasons. And the cows can give unlimited supply of milk any day, all day. Yeah, and all the people, their bodies are made up of Sachidananda Swarupam, spiritual bodies, pure spiritual bodies, which cannot be burned by fire or cut by weapons or anything. So there is no fear of death at all there. So nobody dies there. Nobody gets old. Nobody gets diseases. Nobody gets tired. Nobody gets hungry or thirsty. All living beings' bodies are very powerful there. And the center or pivotal personality, the Supreme Lord is like Lakshmi Narayan, Sitaram, Radha Krishna. These are personalities who are eternally existing in that spiritual abode. If my relationship is with the divine couple of Radha and Krishna, they are the center of the Goloka. Similarly in Vaikuntha, Lakshmi Narayan. Similarly in the Saket Dham, Sitaram. Eternally the associates are rendering service, playing pastimes. Varieties of activities are going on eternally. And there are those are the real beings. And in the material world, whatever beauty we see, beauty, knowledge, strength, fame, riches, and renunciation, these 6 opulences you see in this world are temporary. Like, for example, there is a sun in the sky. I take a broken glass and I reflect the sun and send it into a dark room. Then it may appear that even in a dark room there is light, but that light cannot come without the reflection of the sun. Similarly, the opulences of the beauty and everything of the spiritual world is pervertedly reflecting in the reflection of the material world. Just like mango is there in this thing. I mean, the real tree, and is reflecting in the water as reflection mango. And that's the reason in this world you see people who are very beautiful for some time. Afterward, the beauty is gone. It fades away. People who are very strong like Mike Tyson, gradually their strength fades away. People who are famous at one time, later on they are out of the scene. In this world, you see that. Because these opulences in this world are tiny and they only last for a short time. Whereas Lord Krishna, he has all opulences. Like strength, he is lifting a Govardhan hill. Yeah. In this world, there may be Lakpati or Karudapati, Arapati, Karapati. Whereas Krishna is Lakshmipati. He is a husband of Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, who has all the wealth. In this world, somebody can say, I have lakhs of rupees, I have crores of rupees. Nobody can say, all the wealth of all the millions of universes belongs to me. Nobody can say that except God. That's the meaning of Bhagavan. In Bhagavad Gita, Vedavyasa says, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Bhaga means opulence. Van means one who possesses. He possesses all the 6 opulences. He's all beauty. His beauty never fades. When he was standing in the Kurukshetra battlefield, he was 125 years, he was on the planet. But he looked like a 16-year-old boy, young boy, very handsome. He's Adhyam Purana Purusham Navayanam. He's the oldest of all, but yet he's always very young and handsome and youthful. Similarly, his wealth can never fade away. In this world, today somebody may be billionaire, tomorrow they may be beggar, isn't it? Similarly, somebody is strong now, later on they get old and become weak. So, in this world, the opulences are like a jugnu, like a glowworm. A glowworm can only shine in the dark of the night. When the sun rises in the morning, the glowworm has no space, no place there at all. Similarly, in front of God, the opulences of this world are insignificant. They are perverted reflections. So, here comes a very important part for all of you, my dear friends. Take a ordinate, where there is 0, 0, and below there is negative axis, and then there is positive axis in the top. So the material world where we are living now is negative axis. Therefore, we are all suffering here. When you go to 0, 0, there is no more suffering because birth and death is stopped there. And you feel relaxed, shanti, 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 what impersonalists want to attain. Advaitis, it is their moksha, they want to attain that. But when you go to positive axis, that is spiritual world, Vaikuntha or Goloka, as we say. Then there is positive bliss there. That means in negative material world also there are people and activity. Positive spiritual world also there are activity. But the difference is here all are spiritual bodies, here all are material bodies. And in the positive spiritual world, there is everlasting exchange of happiness with God in the center. Whereas in this world, everybody thinks I am the center. For example, take a compass. Keep a common center and with increasing radius draw circles. They will never clash. So spiritual world, there is no clash at all. All living beings are very happy with the Lord in the center. Like you see in Ramayana, Ram is the center. Bharat wants to serve him. Lakshman wants to serve him. Hanuman wants to serve him. Sugriva wants to serve him. Sita wants to serve him. Only Ravana doesn't want to serve him. So therefore, similarly in Vrindavan, everybody wants to serve Krishna, but Kamsa doesn't want to serve. He wants to kill. You can see that. So in this way, the spiritual world is a very joyful place with Lord in the center. But in the material world, when we become the center, everybody has his own circle with compass, and we draw circles. All circles are clashing. There are quarrel between man and man, family and family, one state and another state, and country. There are wars everywhere. Because everybody wants their own sense gratification or enjoyment in this world. Because they have forgotten the real position as servant of God. Say, for example, you are working in Microsoft tomorrow. If you go to the company, you have to work for the interest of the company. Company will provide you all facility. You can use the car, company will give you, they'll give you a cabin, they'll give you a computer, everything. But if you work for the interest of the company will pay you a very good salary. So company is happy and you are happy. Somebody says, I will steal all the things from the company and take it for my personal use, then the company may arrest us or company may punish us, isn't it? Similarly, in this world, everything that is existing, you don't have to give them up like jnanis, they give up and go to Himalayas. You don't have to do that. Nor should we take all the things and enjoy ourselves. That also is wrong. So don't do bhog, don't do tyag, but do bhakti. Bhakti means what? Take everything and use in Lord's service. Just like I'm taking a laptop now. Some of you may have a question, hey, you are a sadhu. How can a monk use a laptop? How can a monk go in aeroplane? One Jain told me, I was going to IIT Kharagpur in those years, in 2004 or so. So he asked me, you have to go by walk. You are a monk. How can you go by train? He was asking. I said, see, I'm in Pune. From Pune, I have to go to Kharagpur, which is close to Calcutta. If you tell me I have to walk, it will take me 3 months to walk and 3 months back to come back just for a 3-day program there. I'm doing some yoga retreat camp for the youths in Kharagpur. So for a 3-day camp, I have to walk 3 months and back 3 months. What do you think? I asked him. He thought for a while and said, I think we should go by walk only. I said, maybe you can walk, but I would prefer a train or a plane. Because I'm not using train or plane for my enjoyment. I'm doing God's service. Similarly, we are using a laptop here. Laptop, we don't play video games in the laptop. We don't watch movies in the laptop. We are using it for making PPTs and videos to share with all of you. Share the knowledge about God. So this is called Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means you can take the things of the world, but don't use it for your own enjoyment. And you don't have to give them up also. So in Hindi we say, कुछ छोड़ना नहीं आपको, सब चीज़ों को भगवान से जोड़ना है. You want to eat food, nice food, yes, offer it to God first. Thank Him. Oh Lord, you have given so many varieties of fruits and cereals and everything. Thank you very much. Accept that food. Then it is sanctified food. It is sanctioned food, is vegetarian food. Sanctified food is that which is offered to God. So you can accept sanctioned things. For example, marriage is sanctioned. If any of you later wish to marry, you can marry and beget children. And what is sanctified? If husband and wife, both of them study Bhagavad Gita and practice, then your marriage is sanctified. Similarly, your house, you can have a land and you build a house. You can do that. You don't encroach on others' lands. If it is your own land, you can have a land, no problem. And in that house, you build a beautiful house and keep one place for the Lord's altar, put Radha Krishna there and worship the Lord every day. Then your whole house becomes sanctified. So food can be sanctified. Your house can be sanctified. You are earning a very good salary from your job. Take a portion of your money, buy some Bhagavad Gitas and distribute to non-earning students who are poor children, you distribute it. Then you are actually sanctifying your money also. It is sanctioned and sanctified. So in this way, our path is a beautiful path, bhakti path. Here we don't deny things of the world. We don't get into denial mode. Nor do we go to Himalayas. We don't get deny and go there. Nor do we take the things and grab and enjoy for ourselves. We know very well that everything belongs to God. Everything should be used in His service. Similarly, we are not the boss on a boss. We are not boss of all living beings. God is the boss. We are also servants, and everybody is a servant. We teach people, please align with God's laws by studying Bhagavad Gita. And do this ABCD, very simple things. ABCD, A for association, weekly once hear a class. B for Bhagavad Gita, read 1 page of Bhagavad Gita as it is a day. It will take you 5 minutes. C, chanting. Chant Hare Krishna mantra. Just about 108 times you can chant either with your fingers or with your beads also you can chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This mantra, if you chant 108 times, it takes about 10 minutes a day, that's all. 10 minutes for chanting, 5 minutes for reading Bhagavad Gita one page, 15 minutes a day out of 24 hours God has given you. This is the three things, ABC. And the D is very simple, devotional diet. Whatever you eat, you have to just thank God. Oh God, you have given so many nice things for us to eat. You are so mindful of your children. Although we have turned away from you, you are so kind. So thank Him and take. That is D. And E is for engaging in some seva. Like our Harshit Prabhu is coordinator for this program. I am very grateful to him. He's from IIT Hyderabad. He passed out and currently working in Bangalore. He's in a very high paying job, very intelligent boy. But he has volunteered to come forward to help me in coordinate because I am a monk. I cannot put up a program and reaching all of you. I'm not very tech savvy also. I'm not very knowledgeable about these things. But he's giving me a platform to share the knowledge with all of you. I am very grateful to him. So you're all intelligent students. You can, in this way, assist. Some of you can help in making a good poster for the program. Some of you may make a nice PPT. I'm also not very good in making PPTs. I crudely make, I am in the older generation. I was born in 1968. I am almost 56 years now. So the younger generation in your age group, you're all very, very smart and intelligent. You can do so many things. You can do with AI tools and all. You can do so many videos and everything. So you can utilize your talent to propagate the pure message of God, like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam and all. And that way you can engage in Bhakti Yoga with all your talents and perfect your life very easily. So then you go to the positive axis. From the negative axis, you go to positive axis. Now the jnanis or yogis or Jains or Buddhists, I told you, we have great respect for these people also, because these people are also in the spiritual path. But in their spiritual path, their processes are very difficult. They adopt very severe austerities. It's like creating a vacuum in a bulb in your laboratory. See, creating vacuum to remove the oxygen is a very difficult process. There is an easier way to remove even the traces of oxygen effortlessly. Can any of you tell me, how will you do that? I ask you, I give you a flask which has some oxygen. You have to remove even the traces of oxygen without creating vacuum. What is the easiest way to do? Anybody? As Pratyush, you can speak a bit loudly.
So I was thinking that ball can just burn and still become
Okay. So oxygen,
find space.
yeah, correct. When you burn something, then it is released. But can you confidently say that even the traces will be gone completely? You can be sure.
Still,
Still there will be some traces. So I want to find out from any of you, is there a way to remove even the traces of oxygen completely? There is another method I heard from students. I heard about it. If any of you tell me, then I will hear your answer. Otherwise, I can tell you the answer. Anybody? Sujit Kumar ji, you have answer? Yeah. Anybody else? Is it true? I heard that if you put some inert gases like argon, xenon, krypton, when you put these things, immediately the oxygen is driven out. Is that correct? Anybody can confirm this? Anybody from that background? Yeah? If you are using inert gases to send them inside, the inert gases drive out the oxygen, I heard, very easily. So, in the same manner, say I have some impure desires in my heart, material desires, but if I put spiritual desires inside, that will oust the material desires. I have multiple spiritual desires to serve the Lord in varieties of ways. Like, for example, when I eat Krishna Prasad, then I can kick out things which are prohibited food. Yeah. If I am drinking milk, I can do away with liquor, isn't it? So in the same manner, we can take positive, constructive things. So Shastras don't say you have to give up your desire. It is replace your desire, substitute your material desires by spiritual desires. Yeah, like you want to dance, We come to our temple, we have kirtan and dancing in front of the deities. So many youngsters come. Like in Hyderabad, I am a co-president in Hyderabad also. First 2 weeks I am in Pune, ISKCON NVCC temple, Radheshyamdas temple in Pune, the big temple. And the third week I come to Hyderabad here. Here also I am one of the four co-presidents. I see in Hyderabad here every evening there are 600 to 800 youths. You will see that. Come any evening to our temple, you will see. And in the Arati Kirtan, they are dancing happily. Huh? So this dance is a divine dance because it is done for the pleasure of the Lord. Instead of going to a discotheque and doing dance for one's own pleasure, isn't it? People put up parties where they eat all kinds of rubbish things they eat. But here we also have a great feast in ISKCON. Even Steve Jobs appreciated our prasad in ISKCON, isn't it? But our prasad is offered to Krishna with love and devotion and cooked and served. ISKCON, I don't have to tell you much about the prasad in ISKCON. It's pretty world famous, it is, isn't it? So in this way, we have substituted our leanings in a positive manner. So it actually helps us to, go beyond the impure lifestyle, you see. For example, if you drink milk, you get sometimes diarrhea. But there is another form of milk which is dahi, which is curd. If you put that, then diarrhea can be arrested. Similarly, certain activities are pinning us down in this world and making us suffer. But if you substitute those activities with positive spiritual activities, you go to the positive axis. So therefore, the difference between the other paths which I told you and this path is, Karma Yoga is a path of action with the senses. Jnana Yoga is a path of contemplation with the mind. Ashtanga Yoga is a path of concentration and focus on the super soul, Lord, admiring the Lord and meditating on the Lord. And Bhakti Yoga is a path of love arising from the heart in loving relation with the Supreme Lord Krishna and how to engage in his loving service and enter his Nitya Lila, eternal pastimes in the spiritual world. So in this way, you will find in all these paths, senses, mind, intelligence, and heart, which is the greatest. Because if you love Lord with the heart, your intelligence, mind, senses, all will run along with the heart. Is it not true? So in my search for God and truth, I became very confident when I heard this philosophy. I loved it for two reasons. One is my Guru Maharaj taught me that, we should not go to Himalayas and work for our own moksha. Rather, we should live in the cities and we should distribute this knowledge to children, school-going children, college-going students, and company-going men and women. And we should reach it to the suffering souls and help them also to go back with us. We should not go alone. Help and inspire people to practice the knowledge of Gita and go back. This, I loved it. Even Sripad Ramanujacharya once was told by his guru, don't give this mantra to anybody. If you give, you will go to hell. So he climbed up a mountain, on temple Gopuram and called all the villagers, 1,000 of them, and gave this mantra to them and told all of them, you all go to Vaikuntha, go to spiritual world back. And then his guru became angry. He called him. I told you not to give. Why did you do this? Ramanuja said, sir, if one person like me should go to hell, let the 1,000 people go to spiritual world. That was my thought. And Guru became so jolly, happy. He embraced him and said, oh Ramanuja, your heart is so compassionate. So I also liked it very much when I heard this. Another thing I liked it is, I don't have to shut my senses like the, Buramat deko, Buramat suna, Buramat bolo. Like what the three monkeys dolls you must have seen. Because instead of shutting my eyes, I can see the beautiful form of Radha Krishna decorated in the temple. With my ears, instead of shutting my ears, I can hear the classes like this. I can also hear kirtans. Instead of shutting my mouth, I can speak about the Lord and help people come closer to Lord. Or I can use my mouth to chant the holy names. Or I can use my mouth to eat the prasad. Why should I shut these senses? So this is another thing I like very much in the Bhakti Yoga. The Bhakti Yoga teaches you to connect your senses to Lord. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. And also Bhakti Yoga teaches us to be compassionate to all the suffering souls. They are all our brothers and sisters. And we should feel sympathy for them. And we should try to connect as many of them as possible with our whatever, we may not be great personalities, but whatever little intelligence God has given us, to the best of our ability we can reach out. And all of you are very intelligent students. One of the reasons I'm doing it for the IIT students is that many of you may have your Instagram accounts, you may have your Facebook accounts, or you may have YouTube channels. And you are also very intelligent to get into IIT. Now, wherever you go, whichever part of the world you go, my humble request to you, go to the local ISKCON temple meet the devotees, take prasadam there, take darshan of the deities, and you also study Prabhupada's books, and you distribute this knowledge to as many people as possible. And that will be a very great service. Some people will falsely frighten you and say that, hey, if you go to ISKCON, you'll become a monk. Our monks in ISKCON are not even 0.01% of the total number of devotees, not even 0.01. What is speak of 1% or 5%? Monks who wear this dress, like me, we are very small number. In Pune, we have 6,000 congregation devotees who are married people. And sadhus like me are 100, 150 will be there. It's a small number it is. And all over India, we have few devotees like us in the temples. But majority of the people are having wife, children, family, job, and they are also propagating Krishna consciousness in their own way. So, in this way, you can look at this 4-point formula: God, an I for identity, and T for transmigration, and A is the aim of life. So the aim of life, I told you now, how to go from the negative axis to the positive axis. There's spiritual variety in the spiritual world. To join that spiritual variety and eternally be happy forever. That's the prerogative of every one of us. In the Upanishad, it is said, "Hey Amrita Putra, children of immortality, why are you, locked up in this material body and suffering in this world? Go to spiritual world and experience Anandamaya, eternal everlasting happiness." So I was intending to show you some slides which I will show you, which relate science and spirituality. Quickly, I'll show you. You can see the science and spirituality.
May I answer? No.
You can ask, Pratyush, go ahead, ask me. Yeah.
Sir, I have a question. अगर नरसिंह भगवान के पास ऐसा इसमें है जो मेरे लिए अच्छा होगा.
Narsingha is one form of Krishna who comes in this world to do purification and protection. He purified the Asura Hiranyakashipu and he protected his devotee Prahlad. So he protects the devotee from all fear. Yeah. He also purifies the heart of the devotee from all impurities. When we worship Lord Narasimha, he does both these things. He kept the hand in the head of Prahlad and completely purified Prahlad. And he also protected Prahlad despite all the different tortures that his father did. Is that clear?
Yes. तो मैं पूछ रहा था ऐसा कौन सा मंत्र है जो वैसे मैंने एक सुना था जैसे नरसिंह जी का
That is a very nice song. Narsingh Arti. You can sing also. There is another mantra. Ugram Veram Mahavishnam Jvalantam Sarvato Mukham Nrisimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityor Namamyaham. This is another famous verse. Ugram Veram Mahavishnam Jvalantam Sarvato Mukham means that Supreme Lord is extremely mighty and powerful. Nrisimham Bhishanam is very Bhayankaram. But Bhadram, very auspicious for the devotee. Devotees are not afraid. When they see Narasimha, they know he is a protector and purifier. And one can conquer death and go beyond death by worshipping this form of Krishna, who is a protector and purifier. You are in which IIT, Pratyush? Bombay. You are connected to our Ranga Reddy. What's his name? What's his name? Ranga Reddy. You connect to some devotee who helps you with guiding you in Bombay? Akshat?
Yeah, sure.
Akshat, you can teach him this mantra, what I told now.
Sure.
Yeah, you can get him. So, Pratyush, if you wish to sing this in the morning, you can do that, this reciting Avagram Veram if you want, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
And second question is,
Yeah.
the army men they also take because then the important temperature or something, they have to take that. If क्या उसको भी हम सिम मारेंगे क्योंकि
Actually, there are ways to keep your body warm without drinking liquor. Actually, some people tell you that you have to smoke a cigarette and drink liquor to keep the body warm. It's not true. There are various other ways. For example, I'll tell you, one of the soldiers who got Paramvir Chakra award, he wanted to be a vegetarian. And the army officer said, hey, everybody eats non-veg here in army. Why do you want to be vegetarian? He insisted, sir, I am a Hindu. I don't touch meat. I don't want to take. Then the officer told him, okay, let's have a Mal Yuddha between you and another meat-eating soldier. Both of you should be of equal weight and equal strength, he said. So they both, they checked the weights. And then they put in Malyuddha. So this vegetarian, he defeated the other fellow who was a meat-eater. And then the boss, he told him, okay, give him double glass of milk now. Instead of one glass of milk in the night, to give him double glass. He was given. Later on, he did a great service in the army. And then he was given Paramir Chakra later on. So now you may wonder, how is he eating vegetarian and so strong? For that matter, even an elephant is a vegetarian. Elephant, do you think is strong or weak? It is eating vegetarian, only green grass it eats, it never eats meat. Sometimes an elephant can knock down a lion also. Do you know that? If an elephant catches a lion by the neck with his trunk, he can beat the lion and kill it, lion or tiger also. You will see some videos in African safari, you will see that. Which means vegetarians don't become weak. And without drinking liquor, it's not that you can remain in cold regions. Cold regions, there are people who remain. There are various other ways Ayurveda suggests to keep the body warm. But one need not have to drink. For example, even there are medicines where some people may have to eat cod liver oil, shark liver oil and all, they have to drink. But we can always find out substitutes to those medicines. When there is no substitute available, then you can pray to Lord and say that, Lord, I am taking this medicine. I have no substitute available. Please forgive me. And then you can take. Because your human form of life is very important for you to preserve your life and to be able to do your duties to God. You have to maintain your life and you may take those medicines. Is that clear?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I remember Pratyush Panda asked nice questions last time also. Very good. So now it is about 2:20 now. You all would like to ask me questions, or I can show a little few slides I can show. What do you think? Any of you have any further questions you would like to ask me? Actually, today is the 4th session. I thought we are concluding the course. I can see all of you. If you can put on your videos, I can see who all are attending. Be nice to see you. Yeah, who has a question? Manish. Go ahead, Manish. Yeah, please tell me. Hmm? Correct. That's only in the beginning stage. What you said is true. In the beginning stage, when you are more worried about whether I'm counting properly and I completed my 108 rounds. You think like that in the beginning. But as you keep chanting, our mind gets cleansed more and more. You will be amazed that over a period of time, the chanting, you will get willpower increased tremendously. And it will not only help in chanting, it will help in every walk of life. You'll be able to make bold decisions in life, walk the right path. And like for example, many of us devotees, we sleep between 9 to 3. The rest we can work 18 hours a day. Tirelessly, we don't have to lie down even for a minute. So where do we get the strength from? The chanting of the holy name energizes the soul. In the beginning, we are counting and checking whether in 108 times I chanted, and also mind is wandering a lot. Sometimes we feel drowsy. Sometimes we get fed up with mind wandering and everything. But it's only beginning now. We are like toddlers now, and keep proceeding ahead. And be assured, in a span of 2, 3, 4 years, you will see that your chanting becomes improved more and more. But you have to be patient. Is it all right, Manish?
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, एक question हो गई।
Yeah.
जब हम चैंटिंग सिर्फ ट्रांसी फीलिंग है, उसमें ऐसा भी फीलिंग कि आप पीछे लाइटिंग और आप और कौन से आपको दूर नहीं जाने देता।
इसका कारण क्या है? There is an angel within us, there is an animal within us. We all have Daivi Pravritti, Asuri Pravritti. Both are there in this world, within our system. Because in the Purva Janma, we all are also carrying Purva Janma karma also. So some of it will do that. So then you counteract that negative vibration by a positive vibration. You can say, Prabhupada went to the country like America, the hippies were into drugs and smoking and drinking. How did he make them happy? He made hippies into happies. If they got positive results and they became such great saintly souls, why will it not work for me? Narada made Ratnakar into Valmiki, isn't it? And Ajamila chanted a holy name of Narayana and became perfected in life and went back to God. Draupadi called Hare Krishna, Hare Govinda, Hare Gopijana Vallabha, Hare Dwaraka Vasin, and then Krishna was in Dwaraka. He immediately came and protected Draupadi. So many people got positive results. Why will I not get? So you have to defeat the animal within us and drive out the animal and then strengthen the angel within us. What do you think?
person हम भाग नहीं इसका भाव से इतना प्राप्त है कि हम उसके सामने नहीं रह अब जब बनने की कोशिश करते हैं तो हमारे तो कुछ ऐसी निकली बनती है उसके बाद जैसे मुख जो होता है कैमरा स्ट्रिक्ट होता है
No, so I will suggest you to hear one lecture on YouTube. You can just put Radheshyamdas, overcoming previous conditionings. You put, overcoming previous conditionings. So, how to overcome the previous negative conditionings thoroughly? I have told many little stories from Buddha and other places, and how the old sanskaras, how to remove them. That's the main lecture, overcoming previous conditioning. So, you hear that, and then you can write further questions to me.
Yes.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to ask me any question? Today I couldn't give time for the slideshow because I was speaking many important things today. But also, this being the fourth session of the Gita in 4 sutras, I will suggest Harshit. Harshit, you are able to listen to me? You hear me? Yeah. So, Harshit, yeah. Actually, you can put that session on evidence of that this one about the God's ABCDE we have now, that session about does God exist?
Yes.
Yeah, the link of my video, if you give them, send them, then that will complete the 4 sessions for them. And also, you have sent them the new poster which I sent you for the next 4 sessions. Yeah, so Harshit will share with you. I am planning to do another 4-session course called as Work and Be Holy, Not a Workaholic. How to work and be holy, not a workaholic. And you will learn some very nice things in that 4th session also. Because many of you asked me whether I can continue and do some more topics. So I thought of that interesting and very valuable topic for the youths. So you are all most welcome to join. And I am planning to do it on same time, Sunday, 1:30 to 2:30. And it will be more learning for you. And it will be more practical also for you. Okay? And you can always write questions in the Google Sheet regarding this Gita in 4 sutras, which Harshit will provide you link, and then I'll be responding.
We'll be sharing it.
Yeah. Yes, Harshit, now we can make announcement, Harshit. No, go ahead.
Yes. So just give me a minute. Share the link to the quiz.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
yes, sir. Now, ये दिमाग में भी आ रहा है कि हम कृष्ण के विभिन्न रूपों की पूजा करते हैं तो हमारे लिए क्या उपयुक्त होगा जैसे मैं सिंह नारायण जी की उपासना करता हूँ तो सिर्फ उनके विष्णु के जितने भी अवतार
एक्चुअली अभी हम लोग रहते हैं कलयुग जमाने में. कलयुग में वी शुड डू हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. This is the mantra given in Kali Santaran Upanishad. Kali Santaran means in Kali Yuga how the devotees can cross over the ocean of this material world and go to spiritual world. The secret mantra that Brahma gave to Narada and told him that anybody in Kali Yuga chants this mantra daily in a regulated manner, they will go back to Godhead. Yes, I do. So that is why not only ISKCON is propagating it, There are more than 24 organizations who are propagating this Hare Krishna mantra because it's Kali Yuga Taraka mantra. So please chant this mantra regularly, daily. Learn from Akshat how to chant. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. And here is a question by one Siddhant. Guruji, knowingly or unknowingly, we all commit some mistakes because we are not aware of the reality, but karma comes back to us no matter what. So does chanting reduces the effect of this bad karma that we had committed due to our ignorance? Yeah, definitely. Krishna says in 18.66 Bhagavad Gita, सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः I त्वां you Sarva papebhyo, all the sinful reactions, mokshayishyami, I will liberate you. He says. Exactly is answering your question, Siddhant. No? That means whatever past sins are committed, Krishna will wash it all away. There was one boy who came to meet me and he was crying to me. I asked, why are you crying? What happened? He said, sir, I have eaten so many chickens, so many goats in my life. Now I am thinking, alas, all the last 20 years I have been eating all these things. Now I understand that goat's body also, chicken body also, there is a soul and they are all like my brothers and sisters. Now I can't reverse back now. So much sins have happened in my account. What will happen to me? Will I go to hell? I told, no. Now you are a devotee, you are chanting Hare Krishna. How will you go to hell? Krishna says, I will wash away your previous sinful account. He says that clearly in the Gita. I said the very fact you are feeling repentance for your sinful actions. At that very moment itself, Krishna says, I will take it all away. You have nothing to worry. I said, you don't do it all again. Now you are knowledgeable now. Just for the taste buds, don't commit such a sin again. And you are feeling remorseful, then Lord will take care. Nothing to worry. Good question, Siddhant. Thank you. Anybody else? You wish to ask or you want to put in chat? You are welcome. Yes, Harshit, you want to announce?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, actually, share this, I request each one of you to access the link and fill out the questions over there. So, after this, after all the quizzes, certificates, the announcement they have done previously to WhatsApp. Thank you for attending all the 4 sessions and one very how it's still yes all the IIT, the intelligence of IITs, all the universities in these sessions. And now Ranjit also wants to continue by taking more sessions for all of us where we already share and we will also be sharing posters with you. So we would like to announce the session 4 sessions. Again, these 4 sessions will be every Sunday at the same time. It would be one week only. So various students will be covered in these like we might have taught this or so frequently everywhere we go we generally hear this very
I can show the Harshit, can I show the poster?
yes.
I'm just showing it. For a moment, they can get an idea if they see this. Yeah, now you can speak now. You speak.
Yes. So we generally hear what but do we actually know what it really means? So what is good and what is divine? So we will speak more in the first session. So we can see here in Psalm 8, in 22nd September, and the same we can also see the different things trade, their destiny. How can one become worship? Live and one life. So very interesting in this series. So I request every one of you when the registration sheet will be shared with all of you. They are going to print fourth session quiz will also be shared and please register for the course and we will join in. So I request each one of you to take down name
and one nice question has come. Bhavyam Kumar has asked a question. Can we chant japa on counter? He has asked. Actually, you can chant with finger, also sitting in a park, or if you want to chant with counter, you may. But if you chant with japa beads, that is considered very powerful, because the japa beads have a very great magnetic effect. Moving the beads with your fingers and chanting the holy name, that's the best method. If you can chant with beads, it's best. Otherwise, you can sit in a park and chant with your fingers also, like we do Gayatri. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then after you finish 10, you fold one of your fingers like this. And one mantra should be chanted on each of these. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another. So 5 times you do like this and 5. Another 5 times when you do, release one by one fingers like this. 100 are over. Then 8 more. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. Like that you go on. And then when you come here, 108 are over. So in this way, 108 you can do anywhere you want. Any time of the day you can do. And counter is also all right, but it is not as great as doing in the early morning hours, Brahma Muhurtam, chanting with the beads, sitting in front of the Lord. That is more powerful if you can do that. That's nice. So science and spirituality, how is it connected? Slide. I have this thing. I can show the slide to you. You can show? Haribol? You can show the slide. I will show you what I said about science and spirituality. Here is it. Quickly, I'll show you the slide which I promised you. See here. See, the relationship between God, science, and peace. Goal of science is to make life more comfortable also. And people who are God conscious, they also experience peace. But the relationship, God is seen as all-powerful person, present everywhere, knows all and everything. Science also tries to know how to reduce suffering and increase happiness. So, Einstein said a famous statement, science without religion is lame, and religion without science is blind, he said. That means if somebody is doing ritualistic religion without scientific understanding, it's a blind following. But if one is doing only some mechanistic science with no understanding of God or religion, it's lame. Because why it's lame? Because that person has no clear understanding of why we exist at all in the first place, what's the goal of life and everything. So here is a Louis Pascha's nice statement. A little science estranges man from God, but much science leads them back to him. That's an amazing thing, you see. He says, so theology means a scientific study of religion. So Vedic theologian means one who has heard in parampara and repeating. Like whatever knowledge I am giving you, I have heard in the parampara and I am practicing it, I am sharing it with all of you. That is a Vedic theologian. Now here is a relationship you asked about science and spirituality. Science can be used to study spiritual truths. Like for example, nowadays experiments are being done on this thing, chanting. How I can show you one brief video on which is done in USA. You see this one? Is that?
In literary form and carry recommend meditational practices such as silent meditation, silent recitation of mantras, and also the verbal repetition of specific mantras out loud. A clinical test of the benefits of mantra chanting was performed on 3 groups of 62 subjects, males and females of average age 25. They chanted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 25 minutes each day under strict clinical supervision. Results showed that regular chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra reduces stress and depression, and helps reduce bad habits and addictions. These results formed a PhD thesis at Florida State University.
You saw, no? Similarly, now you saw it's a scientific thing. It reduces depression, stress, and addictions and bad habits. It's a proven thing. Chanting Hare Krishna does that. Similarly, another one I'll show you. See this one.
Around 1200 AD, a man named Leonard Pisano, better known as Fibonacci, discovered a sequence of numbers that created a very interesting pattern. The sequence begins with the numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and continues indefinitely. Each number is obtained by adding the last two digits together. A rectangle with a length and width of any two of the numbers of this sequence forms what is known as the golden rectangle, a perfect rectangle. A golden rectangle can be broken down into squares the size of the next Fibonacci numbers down and below. If we were to take a perfect or golden rectangle, break it down into smaller squares based on Fibonacci's sequence, and divide each with an arc, the patterns begin to take shape. We begin to see Fibonacci's spiral. The spiral in and of itself is insignificant. Its importance is revealed in where we find it. Take, for example, the sunflower. The display of its florets are in perfect spirals of 55, 34, and 21, the sequence of Fibonacci. The fruitlets of the pineapple create the same spiral based on the sequence. The pine cone does the same. As currents move through the ocean and the tide rolls onto the shore, the waves that bring in the tide curve into a spiral that can be mathematically diagrammed onto a plot at the points 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and 55. Buds on trees, sand dollars, starfish, petals on flowers, and especially the nautilus shell are formed with this exact same blueprint. With each segment of growth, the nautilus adds to itself one more value on Fibonacci's scale. This blueprint can be seen around us on a small scale every day, but the greatest example of all is directly above our heads. At an average of 100,000 light years across, even the spiral of the galaxies above us are formed with the exact design that the tiny shell is formed. This sequence or blueprint appears to be the trademark of a designer, a proof of a creator, something left behind indicating the one who was there, a fingerprint. As we scan our universe from the tiny flower to the awe-inspiring galaxy, we see the fingerprint of God.
As you know, so you saw an interesting video, isn't it? Fibonacci's spirals everywhere, in sunflower, in waves of the ocean, even in galaxy, in multiple places you can see. That means God's signature is seen everywhere. So in one session, Harshit will share the link with you. Does God exist session? You will find it very interesting. I have put a lot of videos there, similar short videos as well as slides and very convincing and logical presentation. So he will share with you the link. Also, there is a if you go to the, let me second. Actually, there is a just 1 minute. Let me show it. See, if you go to this website Radheshyamdas.com, here, if you see the newcomers, if you click it, there are many things here. You can see applied spirituality, fundamental spirituality. These are very nice things. Many topics are covered here. You can see that. So, and any topic you want to put, if you put mind, if you click it, you get so many things you get related to mind. Like that, many topics. You can see this website also and YouTube channel also at your leisure. So, in this way, you can. Now the time is running out today, and I should not detain you for a long time. I have given my email also, and I don't give my email to everybody because you are all very sincere devotees. You attended all the sessions. I have given my email to you, and you can write your queries to me. if you wish. I can put in the Google sheet if you want, which Harshit will give you. Either way you can write. Yeah, and I'll generally respond to such mails in a week or two. I generally reply to around 60 to 70 mails every day. So I'll try to catch up with responding to many people across the globe. So thank you all for your enthusiasm. Hare Krishna.